Welcome and welcome back, everybody. It's your boy Corey, and today we got something a little different. Now you might be asking, why you Dapper Dan up in here? Why you got the little suit on? Today we will be taking over all 30 NBA teams for this upcoming 2026 NBA draft. I just wanted to make a quick note. I know I said this was going to be all 30 NBA teams, but the video was really long, so we're just going to be doing lottery today. I'm going to drop the rest of the teams either Sunday or Monday. Now, you might think, hey, that's just a regular old mock draft? That's where you're wrong. The guys over at No Ceilings, shout out to them. If you're tapped into the draft, you know No Ceilings does amazing work. They have just dropped a brand new website, ncmockdraft.com. Now, the interesting thing about this, you see they obviously have the full draft where you make all 30 picks for every single team, total control, and you can do everything, trades, everything. They also have this team simulator. While you pick one team, one of the 30 teams, and every other team is controlled by AI and controlled not by you. So they make the picks. If they want to trade, they make the trades. I'm not sure if they make trades in here. I've tested it out a couple times. But yeah, you're basically the GM of one team. You decide the draft picks based on the draft that's around you. And if you want to trade up, if you want to trade down, you can do that in this mock draft simulator. So shout out to No Ceilings for this. This is an amazing website. I said it earlier, ncmockdraft.com. If you want to check it out, make sure you check it out. I will also leave it in the link down below. And before we get started, I will be going live on draft night next Tuesday. So if you want to tune into that, make sure you sub up, turn that noti bell on so you know when I go live. But without further ado, let's get right into this mock draft. Let's get into being GMC. Let's get into that. We're gonna start off with the Washington Wizards, and I'm gonna do 2 rounds just because this can go kind of quick since we're not making all the picks. So we're really, like, for Washington, for example, they only have the number 1 overall pick and 2 second-round picks. So we're gonna go with 2 rounds for all of these. Starting off with the Washington Wizards, obviously there are 3 main options here: Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, and AJ DeBonsta. If you watched any of my mock drafts previously, even if you haven't, I'm pretty sure you know who is going to go number 1, and that will be AJ DeBonsta. Now, as you see, the picks are already rolling, so we're going to pause it real quick. Utah Jazz go with Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer goes number 3 to Memphis, and Caleb Wilson goes number 4 to Chicago. Pretty simple, kind of expected. We're going to go ahead and resume. The Clippers go with Darius Acuff at 5. Michael Brown goes 6, and Keaton Wagler goes 7. Kingston Fleming's at 8. Burry's at 9. Kareem Lopez at 10. That's interesting. Nademan at 11. Ibuka Okori at 12. That's kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. But I'm not going to go through every single one of these picks. I might skip around, but I just kind of wanted to show y'all, how the AI drafts and how this works. Yaxel goes 13. As you can see, LeBaron Philon's kind of falling. Jaden Quainance is falling. Bennett Sturts is falling. Hans Steinbach is falling. So if I pause right here, what pick are we at? 22. Dalen Swain just went. LeBaron Philon is still on the board. Now, I do have the possibility, and usually this doesn't work if I'm going to be honest, I do have the possibility to trade up, but with the Washington Wizards, like I said, we only have 2 second-round picks left. Where are the Sixers at? Am I tricking? Yeah, we only have 2 second-round picks left, so this usually doesn't really work. Even if I go something like that, yeah, we get fired. Like, I just wanted to show y'all, kind of how this works. But I'm gonna go through this one fast, just so we can get to the last 2 picks for the Washington Wizards. Now, as you see, we're at pick 45. Allen Graves is still on the board. Now, granted, this would probably not happen in real life, but I'm going to call up the Sacramento Kings just for the point of exercise. I'm going to call up the Sacramento Kings and see if they would allow us to trade up. Bam. We trade up to 45. We go get Allen Graves. Now, our draft is done. So I'm going to just go ahead and I'm just going to sim to the end so we can get on out of here. And as you see, they give you a mock draft results. We get an A+ for grabbing AJ DeBonsta at 1, who they deem is a B+, who I think No Ceilings has them at number 3 in their big boards. But we also use 2 second-round picks to trade up and get Allen Graves. Now, The rest of the teams I'm gonna do a little bit more realistic, but I kind of just wanted to show y'all you can trade up with 2 picks. You can trade down even if you wanted to. I'll probably show that off later, but a really good tool right here and just some fun to do. So let's just get into this next team. Okay, the next team we're doing is number 2 overall pick with the Utah Jazz. Now, Washington Wizards have not made a pick yet. And if I'm Utah, if I want AJ DeBonsta that bad, I'm going to go call up Washington. Now, obviously, we're going to have to probably give up a decent amount. Now, let's see. We're probably going to have to do like an Ace Bailey. And they're probably going to have, I would probably, if I'm Utah, I would probably ask for a Bub Carrington. Let's see what they think about that. That's cool. That's cool with them. Now, obviously, we'll probably take like a lot more future round picks, but in this mock draft, they don't show the future picks, so that's all we got to work with. So as the Utah Jazz, we are going to be moving up to the number 1 overall pick to draft our guy, AJ DeBonsta. Darian Peterson, he goes number 2. Boozer, number 3. Caleb Wilson, number 5. Akov goes 4. Wow, that's surprising. But yeah, I think, is that all the picks for Utah? Yeah, I think that's all the picks for the Utah Jazz. So we're going to get on to the next team. Almost forgot the draft report. We get a overall of a B. Obviously, AJ DeBonsta, like I said, he's a B+ for them. But we also traded up in the draft, giving away Ace Bailey. It doesn't show right here, but giving away Ace Bailey, but also getting in Bub Carrington. So even though it doesn't show it, I think this is probably like a B+, maybe an A- in my opinion. But neither here nor there. On to the next team, which will be the number 3 overall pick with the Memphis Grizzlies. Let me just, yep, we're all good. Boom. Number 1 overall pick is Cameron Boozer. Okay, so we're gonna have our pick at Darian Peterson and AJ DeBonsta here at number 3. Let's see how that goes. Let's see what Utah does at number 2. They go AJ. So hey, if you're the Memphis Grizzlies and Darian Peterson is on this board, as you can see, fits need right there, and NoCeilings has him number 1 on their composite rankings. You go and grab Darian Peterson 100% of the time. We also have pick number 16. Let's go ahead on to that and see what we can grab at number 16, or even if somebody falls, and see if we can trade up and maybe get some one of our guys a little bit earlier. Doesn't really seem like too much is falling right now, so we're just going to kind of sit pat and see what we can do. Sitting at number 16, obviously we just grabbed Darian Peterson, so I would kind of probably go front court here, and I think maybe Hans Steinbach. I also do like Dalen Swain for them on the wing. I'm not too high on Jaden Quaidance. I'm just not a fan of his injury history, so I think I'm gonna go Hans Steinbach here. Has, the stretch ability, at least that he's shown a little bit in college. Amazing rebounder. I think is probably a top 2 to 3 rebounder in this draft. Somebody that can come in and play next to Zach Edey, or even play behind Zach Edey and provide some size at the 4 and still at the 5. So I think that would be a really good pick for the Memphis Grizzlies here. They also have pick number 32. So let's go ahead and get to that. And here we are at pick number 32. Once again, Allen Graves is here, but I'm not going to pick him because I don't think that he will fall into the second round. We kind of look at the end of the first round. Richie Saunders goes 30. Joshua Jefferson is 28. Koa Pete falls to the Knicks and the top of the second round. So let's just look at this tier 4 right here as the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they will probably go potential, and I think that they will probably not vote for, one of these older like Zuby Ejiofor. I don't think they would go for an Alex Caravan. I think that Sergio Delaria, I think he's still in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. I think that he would be a good pick for them, especially if Ja's on his way out. A 6'6" guard wing that could play next to Darian Peterson as 2 or 1, or maybe a little bit of 3. Really, really versatile option right here at pick 32. And I think that's it from Memphis. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the end of this and see what grade we get. We get a B. Okay. Obviously, we grabbed Darian Peterson. We grabbed Hans Steinbach, and Sergio Delaria. Hans Steinbach, Sergio Delaria is a good mix of solid value and some reaches. Okay. Some reaches. That's interesting. They probably would have went LeBaron Philon at 12 or Ryan Conwell at 32. That's interesting, but you see the starting 5 right here as well. John Morant, if he's still there, Darian Peterson, I believe that would probably be Coward, not Caldwell Pope. I think that would be Steinbach instead of Aldama, and obviously Zach Edey at the 5. Moving on to team number 4, the Chicago Bulls. Now, this is a team I'm really, really interested in. As you see early, Darren Peterson going number 1. So we could maybe possibly have a Cam Boozer or a AJ DeBonsa fall. Let's kind of see what Utah does here at number 2. I'm assuming they're going to go, they're going to go AJ. And, I mean, hey, number 4, Caleb Wilson, has pretty much been the pick since the lottery was locked in. So we're not even going to waste any time. We're going to go right for Caleb Wilson. Now, we also have pick number 15. Guys that I'm hoping that fall to pick number 15 are Cam Carr. If in a day Mara can fall to 15, that would be great. If, what's his name, Heinz Steinbach is there, I'd be good with that. Morez Johnson's good if he's there. A lot of guys that are possible at this number 15 option, and we have our pick of Morez Johnson. Cam Carr is here. Steinbach still here. Swain is here. I've seen a lot of Bulls fans want Swain at 15. If it was me, you just pick Caleb Wilson. I think you go wing and you go get Cam Carr, a scorer, a shooter, a defender, really, really versatile at that wing spot. And I think he fits that slap mantra that their new GM has, size, length, athleticism, and positional size, I believe, or something like that. I don't know the whole thing, but he fits that mantra, I think, to a T for that front office. 2 really good picks for Chicago, and they also have a late second-round pick, so we just going to skip straight to that. And here we are at pick number 38. Christian Anderson falls to pick number 38. I'm not picking him. This as you can see, this mock draft can get a little crazy because Christian Anderson's not falling out of the first round, and even if he does, he's not going 8 picks into the second round. Anyways, as Chicago Bulls here at pick number 38 in the second round, I'm interested in Trayvon Brazile. I'm really interested in Trayvon Brazile. I think that he could project to be a solid shooter at the NBA level. His athleticism is off the charts. He can block shots. He can rebound. Really, really interesting. And again, I think he fits that slap mantra for the Chicago Bulls. I think a guy like Baba Miller fits that mantra as well. I really like Baba. I think I have not a first round grade because I don't really do the grading shit, but I would take him in the first round. But that's also a lot of biases coming with that projection. Dylan Mitchell, he would be an interesting pick here at 38. But I think that I'm going to go with Trayvon Brazile. You get some front court help. Obviously, you can play him next to Caleb Wilson or even as your backup center for now because I think Jalen Smith is still on the roster. But we're going to go with Trayvon Brazile right there. And I think that is all of our... Nope, we have another late second-round pick. So we just go ahead and skip to that. At pick number 56, not a lot of, real options that I think would probably play. But, I don't know. Let's go Milos Uzan. Could maybe knock it down a little bit. Obviously coming down from Houston where we know he's going to defend. So you go and get a defensive guard in that already cesspool of guards. Regardless, we get a B grade. Obviously, we grab Caleb Wilson. We get an A on that. We get an A on Cameron Carr. Trayvon Brazile and Milos Uzan, we get B pluses. I feel like that grade should be higher, no? But, whatever. That's neither here nor there. But we get a B here for the Chicago Bulls. Now we are going to be moving on to the Los Angeles Clippers at pick number 5. Already starting off, AJ goes 1, Cam Boozer 3, Darren Peterson 4. Let's see what the Bulls do here. A Cuff at 5. I'm not drafting Caleb Wilson. I don't think he's falling past 4. I'm not drafting Caleb Wilson. The consensus is it's pretty much Keaton Wagler and Michael Brown Jr. here at number 5 for the Clippers. Me personally, love both of these guards. I'm going to go Keaton Wagler. I think Wagler can come in. If you don't love Darius Garland as your future point guard of the future or point guard of the future, you can get Keaton Wagler. You can kind of groom him to be a point guard of the future while you decide what you want to do with Garland. If you love Garland and you think that, he can be your point guard of the future, this is your two guard of the future, and you have a 1-2 punch of just scoring and being able to shoot the ball. Not the greatest defender, but I mean, hey, that's why you have Kawhi, if that's who you decide to keep. But I think that, if you still want to win now, if you want to go in and rebuild, I think Keaton Wagler is still the pick for the Los Angeles Clippers. And of course, the Los Angeles Clippers have 2 second-round picks, one at 36 and one at 52. Koa Pete has fallen to the second round. I do think that could happen, but I don't think he falls to 36. Terrence Reed, I think, could fall to the second round, and 36 would be a place that he could fall. So we're going to go ahead and take the big man out of Connecticut. Has shown a little bit of playmaking ability, can rebound the ball, is really, really good frame, lob threat. Really good pick here, especially falling to your lap at 36. Moving on to pick number 52. A lot of interesting picks here. Keyshawn Hall, I didn't even know he was in this draft. I'm not going to lie. I like Keyshawn Hall a lot. But we have Dylan Mitchell, who I like a lot. Don't know a lot about Onyenso, I think his name. How's how you say it? Bruce Thornton, really good guard at Ohio State. Toby Lawal, shout out to him. He went to VCU. Obviously, you see he transferred to Virginia Tech. I think he had the highest vertical leap in the standing vertical in the NBA Combine. Nick Martinelli, a scorer. A lot of interesting options here. I'm just gonna go Dylan Mitchell. Can project to be like a point forward, 6'6", can jump out of the gym, super athletic. So we're gonna go ahead and pick that for the Atlanta Clippers, and we get our first A+. Keaton Wagler at number 5, Terrence Reed at 36, and Dylan Mitchell at 52. Moving on to the Brooklyn Nets at pick number 6. Cameron Boozer goes 1, Darren Peterson 2, AJ 3. I'm assuming it's going to be Caleb. Nope, it's Darius Acuff. And then Caleb goes number 5. So here we are as the Brooklyn Nets. And one of our guys is gone. Darius Acuff is gone. Now I feel like you were kind of hoping for Darius Acuff to fall right here. Let's see what we can get in the trade market for some teams to move up to number 6. Ooh, OKC wants to move up to number 6 for 12, 17, a second round, and 2 swaps. I think that this is something that Brooklyn could possibly do, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now, who is OKC picking at number 6? Keaton Wagler. Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I think that would probably be that would be solid next to Shea. Him, Shea, J-Dub, Chet, center to be named. I'm assuming it's probably going to be Hartenstein, but here we are at pick number 12 after trading the 6th overall pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, in this case, I think you go Morris Johnson Jr. You already have Nick Claxton. You have Noah Clowney, who I like a lot, but Morris Johnson Jr. is just a dog, bro. He's a dog. He's a winner. Great rebounding. He's super versatile defender. Mobility at his size is just, second to none. So if he's here on the board and you trade back, I think this is the guy you go get. Now, obviously, we have pick number 17 as well. I'm hoping that LeBaron Fallon falls down here to pick 17, and that's exactly what happens. We still get a point guard, one of our point guard guys that I'm assuming that Brooklyn would be interested in, and we get him at 17 while we also recoup some other picks. I don't think you can complain about that at all. Obviously, like you just saw, we traded, so we now have 3 first-round picks early in the second-round picks, early in the second round as well. Kristen Knight Jr. is here. I'm not picking him. He's not falling to the second round. Joshua Jefferson's here. He might fall into the second round, but I'm also not going to pick him here. If Malik Thomas falls into the second round, I think you run to the podium and grab him. I think he's a first-round talent. I think he was going to be really, really good in the NBA and could possibly be like a Jamal Crawford kind of guy, like a microwave scorer off the bench. Second-round pick in this draft, I'm going to go get Baba Miller. You go get some more front court help, kind of a point forward he could possibly be if he can, get his shooting right. I mean, this is like a really, really good ball player for you to have on your roster. I do also think, disclaimer, I don't think that they would probably bring in all 3 of these guys. But, third, second round pick, we are going to go with Jaden Bradley, who I really, really like a lot. I think he can come in and be similar to a, what's the guy in Toronto? The guy from Houston. I'm sure y'all know who I'm talking about, but can come in, be a defender point guard, can knock down some threes, and just be an absolute menace on the defensive end while still providing some offensive help in the shooting department. That is our draft for the Brooklyn Nets, and we get an A+. Morris Johnson Jr., LeBaron Philon, Malik Thomas, Baba Miller, and Jaden Bradley. That's a class. Now, obviously, in your last draft, you brought in 5 first-round picks. So, like I said, I doubt that they would bring in another 5 rookies. But if you ask me, we walk away with 5 guys and 2 first-round pick swaps for pick number 6, and we also still get a point guard of the future, and we get a front-court guy in the future. I mean, hey, if you ask me, this is an amazing draft. Moving on to pick number 7, we have the Sacramento Kings. This is a team, another trade-up possible team. Now, since they absolutely love Darius Acuff, everybody is saying, and since the Chicago Bulls they keep trying to pick Darius Acuff at number 4, which I don't think will happen. We're going to try and see if we can trade with the Chicago Bulls to move up to number 4 and grab our guy Darius Acuff. Let's see if we can take away a second rounder and still get one. Okay, they want to add 45. That's cool. 4th round or number 4 overall pick, Darius Acuff will be going to the Sacramento Kings, which I love for them. Darius Acuff, as we know, is probably one of the more polarizing guards we have in this class. A lot of rumblings around, can he be, a 1A guy on a playoff team? And obviously we just saw Jalen Brunson go out and win a championship for the New York Knicks as the guy. So it's going to be interesting. But I think if the Sacramento Kings can trade up and only give up picks for this draft to go get your guy Darius Acuff, especially if you have to move up to 4, I don't think they complain at all. Moving on to the Atlanta Hawks now. Another interesting team where a lot of people are mocking Ade Mara to go here. I personally don't think that should happen, or it probably will happen, but I don't think that it should happen. But yeah, a lot of people are mocking Ade Mara. I think that if one of the really, really good guards are still on the board, then you go get them. But at this point, I think if it does become between Kingston Flemings or Ade Mara, I was hoping that maybe a Michael Brown will fall or Keaton Wagler will fall here at 8. But if it's just between Kingston Flemings as the guard or Braden Burries as a guard and Ade Mara, then I'm going to just go ahead and go with Ade Mara and hope that we obviously have another first overall or another first round pick at 23, and kind of hope that we can maybe grab, a LeBaron Philon can fall, Christian Anderson, Bennett Sturts, Abuka Corey went 11. That was who I was really hoping will fall. But, man, it is what it is. And Christian Anderson goes just before us. And Bennett Sturts is looking like it's probably going to be our guard pick. But Dalen Swain is still here. I would much rather probably go with Dalen Swain and his upside. I mean, really, really good year at Texas. Can put the ball on the floor. 34% from 3. Could be better, but I think it will get better. And yeah, just really, really good pick for them. I think he's 18th, right, for them? Yeah, 18th on their big board. So getting him at 23, I think would be amazing. Do they have a second round pick? They do not. So we're just gonna go ahead, sim to the end for the Atlanta Hawks and see what grade they give us. A B+. Oh, we did have a second round pick. It was 57. Isaiah Nelson would probably be a good shot for them, but Dalen Swain at 23, Ade Mara at number 8. Obviously, he's going to be a B because in their consensus they have him at 13. But I think if it's between Kingston Flemings and Ade Mara, I think you go get Ade Mara and kind of hope that a Abuka Corey, a Christian Anderson, or a LeBaron Philon falls to you at 23, so you can still go out and get you a point guard. But if not, obviously you pick best player available at 23, or you just trade down or just trade the pick and maybe see what you can do in that order. Moving on to pick number 9 with the Dallas Mavericks. Now, it's been said that Braden Burries has been trying to slot himself here at number 9. If I'm Dallas, I'm hoping that Michael Brown falls, and just when I thought it would, or he would, Keaton Wagler is the guard that falls. I think if one of these guards falls in the draft, I think you go out and get them, but we already got Keaton Wagler with the Clippers, and I don't think that he's going to fall to 9, to be honest. So on the board right now, we have Jackson Lindenberg, Morris Johnson still here, LeBaron Philon, Ade Mara, Cam Carr has been linked to them. And they obviously just got Masai Ujiri, so I think that maybe if he falls here, I know we just picked him, but I think if Ade Mara falls here to 9, he could possibly go, but I don't know. I think that they would probably give Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford just at least one more year and one more chance to kind of prove what they can do. Let's make it a little bit interesting. Let's go here with Cam Carr. Now, I've made hundreds of videos on Cam Carr. I love Cam Carr. I think he's a lottery pick, so him going at number 9 for me is not a problem. We also have pick number 30 in this draft, so we're gonna see what we're gonna do there, see who falls or see who makes sense at pick number 30. I'm not sure if we do have a second round pick, but it's kind of late. Baron Philon falls to 30. I don't think that'll happen, so I'm just gonna leave him there. But Christian Anderson does fall to 30, who I think could possibly be there and could be one of the guards to fall. So we're gonna go ahead and grab Christian Anderson. And here we are at pick number 48. Baba Miller is like the obvious pick. Like I said, they just got Masai Ujiri as their new GM, and you know we know he loves size and athleticism and positional size. So Baba Miller, I think, is a perfect pick here for the Dallas Mavericks, especially late in the second round, and we get an A grade for that. Obviously, they're probably going to think Cameron Carr is a little bit of a reach. I don't think he is, but you grab Christian Anderson at the last pick of the first round, and you get Baba Miller at pick 48. Moving on to pick number 10, we have the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, obviously, we project that Giannis is going to be traded, but as of right now, he is not. So that's how we're going to do this draft, and we're going to pick Yaxel Lindeborg at number 10. I think that if they do keep Giannis, I think he's perfect to sit beside Giannis if you want to play him at the 3 or the 4, whether Giannis plays a 4 or the 5. Super versatile defender, can knock down the three-point shot. Obviously, as you can see, 37% from 3. He can put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, physical. I mean, I think he's a perfect guy to sit and play next to Giannis. And the Bucks, they don't have a second-round pick, so Yaxel Lindeborg was the only selection that we made. Moving on, we have the Golden State Warriors. Shout out to Flight at pick number 11. Yaxel Lindeborg's here, a guy that I would pick, but we just picked him at number 10 for the Milwaukee Bucks. LeBaron Philon, I think, would be really good. I think he kind of has Warriors written all over him. Ade Mara, if he's here, I think would be really good. Like a lot of really good selections for the Golden State Warriors. But I'm gonna go ahead and go with LeBaron Philon, who can come in and play next to Steph, or even once Steph retires or once we're out of the Steph era, he can be our next guard of the future. And moving on to our second round pick here at pick number 54. Once again, once we get into this second round, it kind of gets a little slim, not gonna lie to you. But I'm thinking I like Malik Brown here. I think that he can learn a lot from Draymond. I think that him and Draymond are kind of similar in the way that they can guard a lot of positions, 1 through 4, 1 through 5, really physical and stout on that defensive end. But there's also a guy who kind of fits the Warriors like to a T. Donovan Atwell from Texas Tech can shoot the absolute piss out of the ball, and we know that that's what the Warriors want to do. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab Donovan Atwell here at pick number 54, and we get an F grade. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of Warriors fitting, but we get an F grade here for LeBaron Philon at number 11, who we picked one pick above their consensus, and then obviously Donovan Atwell is at an 85 for the Warriors. But I think it's a good draft if you ask me. Moving on to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now we're gonna pause right there. Actually, we're gonna let it go a little bit because I think he's probably gonna fall anyways. But even if he doesn't, Oklahoma City, who I think is a trade up candidate. If you saw my last mock draft, I had them trading up to number 8 with the Atlanta Hawks to go get Ade Mara. But in this mock draft right here, he falls to 13 or he falls to 12. So we just go ahead and draft Ade Mara. I think he's a perfect fit next to Chet. I think he can, if you bring Isaiah Hartenstein in or back in, he can learn from him and kind of mirror what he does and even be better than him. Here at pick number 17, obviously we just went Ade Mara. I think that they will probably go wing. I think that they would be interested in And Allen Graves has, Kareem Lopez went 11. I think Allen Graves is a really good pick for them at 17. Can come in and contribute right away. Gives you positional size, gives you positional shooting, and you can play him at the 3, 4, 5, and he has different advantages in each of those positions. We also have a second round pick here at 37. Let's see who we have left there. We have Zuby Ejiofor, Braden Smith, Sergio Delaria, Quadir. I think Quadir Copeland would be interesting for them. Quadir Copeland, maybe. Shout out to Seth Trimble, UNC alum. I'm going to go Quadir Copeland. I think that he can come in, probably play a lot of G League, but maybe come in during the regular season and provide some good minutes. Shot 40% from 3 this year. Wow, I did not know that. But like a really, really big guard, almost 2 steals a game, stout defender. Could maybe even come in and contribute and kind of, if he can shoot 40% from 3, I think he can come in and replace Lou Dort like immediately, if you ask me. But hey, I don't know too much. We get a C grade for that. Daymar at 12, Allen Graves 17, and Quadir Copeland at 37. Moving on, we have the Miami Heat at pick number 13. Now, I don't think that they'll be making this pick. I think that they're going to end up winning the Giannis sweepstakes, and they're going to be trading this to Milwaukee. But in this sense, let's say that they keep the pick. I think that it would be good for them to go guard here. Who's left? We have LeBaron Filon left. Ibuka Corey's finally left. This late, Bennett Sturts is still here. Christian Anderson's still here. I've already picked LeBaron Filon. Let's go Ibuka Corey. I like him a lot. I think that he can kind of have like a Tyrese Maxey trajectory. At Stanford, if he wasn't there, they would probably be the worst team almost in college basketball, or at least Power 5 or Power 4. 35% from 3, but a lot of that is self-creation and, being the guy at Stanford. So I think that number could go up, being around NBA guys. 23 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Obviously, the 3 assists is kind of a glaring issue, if you may. But, in this system that Eric Spoelstra has of the 5 out and no screens kind of thing, I think he'll be all right, where they kind of are point guard by committee, sort of. I think he can come in and give them a scoring punch. Now, we have a second round pick at 41, so I'll see y'all at 41. Here at pick number 41. A lot of stout guards. Henry Vasar is still here. Richie Saunders is still here. Jaden Bradley, obviously, the typical guys, but Henry Vasar and Richie Saunders is really, really interesting to me. I think they probably go for Richie Saunders. I think he's kind of being underrated in this draft. Now, obviously, he missed the back half of the college season with an ACL tear, I believe, but can obviously shoot the ball, can put the ball on the floor a little bit more than I think people realize. 18 points per game right beside AJ DeBonsa. I think that he would be a really, really good pick for the Miami Heat if he falls to the second round and we get a C+ grade. Obviously, a lot of people are going to think we reached a little bit on Ibuka Corey, but I think that he's a lottery pick as well, so I'm fine with that. And Richie Saunders, we get really, really good value there at 41. And for the last pick in the lottery, we are going to go with the Charlotte Hornets at pick 14, and we also have them for pick 18. So let's see what we can do here for them. If you saw my last mock draft, I had them picking Morris Johnson Jr. and Cam Carr. And Cam Carr is here, but Morris Johnson is not. But for the sake of difference, let's go grab them Hans Steinbach. Not so much the rim protector that you would want, but some size and some shooting that kind of fits next to all the guys you already have there in Charlotte. Now at pick number 18, Cam Carr's here, man. I'm not even gonna think too much about it. Cam Carr's here. I can't say enough about how much I love Cam Carr in this draft. I honestly would have took him at 14, but I tried to be a little different. But if he's gonna sit here at 18, I'm not even gonna think twice about it. And I believe that's all the picks we have for the Charlotte Hornets. Yep, that's everybody. So we got a B+ grade there. We got a B+ for Hans Steinbach and an A for Cam Carr. It is tough being an NBA GM, and all I did was sit here and click buttons on a computer. So I can only imagine the mental gymnastics that these GMs and front offices go through. But that was really fun. Shout out to No Ceilings. Like I said earlier in the video, ncmockdraft.com if you want to do one yourself. If you enjoyed this video, man, make sure you leave a like, sub up, turn that noti bell on. Like I said, I will be live on draft night. I'm not sure exactly what time, but it will be a little bit before the draft. So if you want to tune into that, like I said, sub up, turn that noti bell on. Let me know in the comments what you would have done if you were the GM of your favorite NBA team. And yeah, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, and I'm out.